Good morning, students. This is 11th Standard Botany video class, video 1. In this video, we are going to start the new lesson, chapter 15, unit 5, plant physiology, functional organization. Under this topic, we are going to see the lesson, plant growth and development. Dear students, in the previous video class, we have seen the different growth hormones and their functional activities. Now, we are going to see the another topics, photoperiodism, vernalization, plant movement, and stress physiology in this video. Dear students, see the topic plant movements. Plants which are showing their activities response to the external or internal stimuli, which are known as plant movements. That means plants which are changing their position in response to the outer environment or inner environment is known as plant movements. See the definition. Plants have the capacity for changing their position in response to external or internal stimuli is known as plant movement. Plants movements are divided into two types, vital movement and physical movements. First, we are going to see vital movement. So these movements are exhibited by the living cell or plant. Dear students, the vital movements are divided into different types. The first one is the movements of locomotion. The movements of locomotion includes movements of protoplasm inside of the cell or the movement of entire unicellular or multicellular plant body as in chlamydomonas, gametes and zoospores. So most probably plants are unable to move from one place to another place because they are fixed firmly to the soil in particular region or particular place. But the inner side of the cell content which are showing the movement. So the one of the content is protoplasm which is present inner side of a cell showing the movement. When we are coming to the lower plants such as unicellular organism and multicellular organisms which are showing the whole movement. Example, chlamydomonas, gametes and zoospore. So this movement of location is again divided into autonomic movements, another one is the paratonic movement. First one, autonomic movement. The movement is taken place or arising from internal changes or internal stimuli of the plant body, which is known as autonomic movement. That means automatically some changes occur in the inner side, shows the movement of the plant body is known as autonomic movements. This will be taken place due to the presence of cilia or flagella and movement of the cytoplasm. Dear students, in the first lesson itself we have studied cytoplasm and its cell organelles are showing the movement is known as cytosol or cytoplasmic streaming. Likewise, the movements which is arising internally which are showing the response of the plant body is known as autonomic movement. Example, cilia and flagella and movement of the cytoplasm. Next one is the paratonic or tactic or induced movement of locomotion. This movement is taken place due to external factor or stimuli like light, temperature, chemicals are called paratonic movement of locomotion. So first one, autonomic movement means it automatically movements taken place due to the changes occur in the inner side. Example, flagella, cilia and cytoplasm. Another one, paratonic or tactic. So these movements is taken place due to the changes occur in the external environment such as light, temperature and chemical is known as paratonic movement. Dear students, see the classification of plant movement. It is divided into two, vital and physical movement. Vital movement again divided into two types based upon the movement of locomotion and movement of curvature. Movement of locomotion again divided into autonomic, that is spontaneous, automatically. Example, ciliary, amoeboid and cyclosis. Paratonic example, phototactic, chemotactic and thermotactic. That means based upon the light, chemo means chemical, thermo means temperature. When we are coming to the movement of curvature is again divided into autonomic and paratonic. Autonomic is again divided into growth movement and variation movement. So growth movements is divided into hyponastic, epinastic and nutational. The paratonic movement of curvature divided into again two, tropic growth movement and nastic variation movements. Tropic movements are divided into different types, geotropic based upon the soil, phototropic light, thigmotropic that means touch, hydrotropic water, chemotropic chemical, thermo temperature, aerotropic air. The nastic is the nyctinastic, seismonastic and thigmonastic. So these are all the different movement of a plant under their classification. So this is the another flow chart which are showing the paratonic or tactic movement of locomotion. Is again divided into three types. Phototactic, that means the movements occur response to the light. Example, zoospores of Chlamydomonas. Chemotactic, response to the chemical medium. Example, anthrazoites and bryophytes and pteridophytes attracted to chemical substance of Archegonia. Thermotactic, it is depending upon the heat condition. Example, Chlamydomonas moves from the cold to warm water. So these are all the different type of paratonic or induced movement of locomotion. So first we are going to see autonomic movements of curvature. Autonomic means I already told you changes occur in the internal organs and makes the movement of a plant body is known as autonomic movement of curvature. So in this movement there is no requirement of external stimuli. This autonomic movement of growth is again divided into different types, that is hyponasty and epinasty. The diagram which are showing the hyponasty and epinasty. First one, hyponasty. The growth is taken place both the surface, lower surface and upper surface. The growth movement is taken place more in upper surface. For example, petals of a flower showing the curvature on upper side. Ultimately, the flower becomes closed. Such type of movement is called hyponasty. That means curvature of a petal on the upper side, and ultimately the flower becomes closed. The growth activities shows in the lower surface means the flowers are opening, but the curvature is taken place on the upper side makes the flowers to closing. That movement is called a hyponasty. Epinasty, it is opposite to the hyponasty. The growth curvature is more in the upper surface. At the time the petals show the curvature in the lower side, and ultimately the flowers are opens. Such movement is called epinasty. Not only that, the flowers usually opens based upon the high temperature and remains closed at low temperature. So we all know that when daytime the flowers are opening. The night time, that is with the help of the moonlight, some flowers are opening but others are closed due to the low temperature. So this is said to be hyponasty and epinasty is a very important differentiate between. So first one, the growth is more in the lower surface. So petals curvatures are taken place in the upper surface. So the flowers are closed, that is hyponasty. Second one, growth movement is more in the upper surface. So petals curvature is taken place in the lower side. Ultimately, the flower petals are open. Usually, flowers are open at the high temperature and closed at the low temperature. That is hyponasty and epinasty. Dear students, see the diagram hyponasty and epinasty. So hyponasty means the growth moment which are showing the lower surface. So the petal curvature in the upper surface make the flowers to closed. See the first diagram, it is closed. Second one, epinasty, the growth moments which are showing in the upper side. So the petals curvature is taken place in the lower side. So the flowers are open. That is hyponasty and epinasty is a very important differentiate between question. The next type is nutation. So the growth of the stem apex, that means tip, which are showing the zigzag movement, that means left to right like that. That movement is known as zigzag manner. It will be taken place because the two sides of the stem apex, that means tip, alternatively grow more. So the activity of the stem showing the zigzag manner growth movement. The stem tip automatically shows the growth movement more in a two sides. Such growth movements are known as nutational movement. In some plants, these nutational movements allow the shoot apex grow in a helical path in upward direction. This movement is known as circumnutation. In some other plants, the shoot apex which are showing the growth movement in a helical path in upward direction. That movement is known as circumnudation. This is commonly found in the stem of climbers of Cucurbitaceae. So this is the Cucurbitaceae plant. The stem which are showing the growth movement in helical path in upward direction, that is known as circumnudation. So the next type is autonomic movement of variation. So this autonomic movement has taken place in the Indian telegraph plant. Important 1 mark question. Desmodium gyrans. Underline the line in your textbook. If this plant contains a compound leaf means they are having the common rachis with lateral leaflets. For example, neem tree So that is the compound leaf consists of large terminal and two smaller lateral leaflets. That means at the tip of a leaf contains the larger size and the lateral leaflets are smaller in size. So during the daytime, the two lateral means side position, leaves which are moves up and down, that means moves upward at an angle 90 degree and then come to lie parallel to the rachis. Again they move downward at 180 degree so that they are parallel to the rachis. So for daytime they are moving in the upward direction at 90 degree angle, so they are parallel to the rachis. Rachis means a common axis of a compound leaf is known as rachis. Again they are moving the downward at 180 degree. Now they are parallel to the rachis. So they may again move upward 90 degree to come in their original position. So all these movements occur with a jerk after intervals. Each movement is completed about 2 minutes. That movement is called autonomic movement of variation, occur in Desmodium gyrans. It is otherwise known as Indian telegraph plant. It consists of compound leaf, large terminal leaf and two lateral leaflets. Daytime, the two lateral leaflets are moving upward at 90 degree angle, so they are lie in a parallel position of the rachis. Again they will be moved downward at 180 degree, so they are parallel to the rachis. They again move to the 90 degree upward direction to come in their original position. So these movements occur as a jerk after intervals, each movement which are taking about 2 minutes in Desmodium gyrans. It's a very, very important. Important 3-mark question. Paratonic movement of curvature is another type. The movement is arising from the external stimulus, that means outer environmental factor, is called paratonic movement, divided into two types, tropic movement and nastic movement. First, we are going to see the tropic movement. Before going to see the tropic movement, see the diagram. This is the Desmodium gyrans plant. See at the tip of a rachis, they are having the large terminal leaves or a tip. The lateral, they are having a small leaflets. So these leaflets only which are showing the movements in upward and downward direction. Upward 90 degree angle, downward as a 180 degree angle. Again, they are moving the upward direction at 90 degree to comes into their original position. So this movement is taken place on the parallel of a rachis. Rachis means a central axis that is said to be the rachis. So that is the autonomic movement of variation shown in the Desmodium gyrans. It is otherwise known as Indian telegraph plant. Next, tropic movement. Dear students, in tropic movement, in response to the growth movement is occur in unidirectional stimulus. That means only one directional stimulus is known as tropic movement or tropism. The movement that occurs in response to the unidirectional stimulus is known as tropic movement or tropism. Is the important 2-mark question. They are divided into different types: geotropic, phototropic, thigmotropic, chemotropic, hydrotropic, thermotropic and aerotropic. First one, geotropic. Geo, which means soil or earth. So the movement which takes place in response to the gravity stimulus are called geotropic movements. So this is also divided into two types, positive and negative geotropic. The roots which are growing towards to the soil, showing the positive geotropic movement. The stem which are showing the growth movements above the soil is known as negative geotropic. The secondary roots which are showing the growth moment in the right angle to the force of the gravity is known as diageotropic. The secondary lateral roots which are showing obliquely downwards are known as plagiogeotropic. The lateral roots and branches are not sensitive to gravitational stimulus, so they are known as apogeotropic. See, geotropism which are showing the different moment, root showing the growth moments towards the soil, positive, stem showing the growth moments above the soil is the negative geotropic. Secondary roots which are showing the growth moment in a right angle position of the force of gravity, that is diageotropic. The secondary lateral roots are showing obliquely downwards is known as plagiogeotropic. The lateral roots and branches, they do not show any growth moments towards the gravitational force, that is known as apogeotropic. A for absence. Okay. So absence of growth moment towards the gravitational force is known as apogeotropic. Dear students, the next one is the phototropism. First one we have seen geotropism and the type due to the response of gravitational force. Okay. Next one, photo means light. The tropic movements take place in response to the light stimuli is called phototropism. Some of the plant parts such as stem, leaves, branches, pedicel of the flower, that means stalk of a flower, move towards the stimulus of the sunlight is known as positively phototropism. While other plant parts such as root and rhizoids which move away from the sunlight or stimulus of the sunlight is known as negatively phototropic. So see the experiment is known as clinostat, which are proving the negative geotropism in aerial stem. So clinostat is a rotating pot-like container mounted on the axis of a rod. See that one, at the tip they are having the potted plant. Then remaining parts are known as clinostat is an instrument which is rotating pot-like container mounted on a axis pot. A potted plant is fitted horizontally on the clinostat and rotated slowly, which completely eliminates the gravity as all the sides of the plant are equally stimulated. Dear students, in geotropism, we have seen they are showing different growth moments based upon the gravitational force. Root positive gravitational force, stem negative geotropic force. Then secondary roots are showing the movements and secondary lateral roots are showing the movements. Some lateral roots and branches are not showing the gravitational force, like that we have seen the types of geotropism. So here, to avoid the response of gravitational force, the clinostat is rotating along with the potted plant. So the rotation of the clinostat stopped for a considerable period of time. Then the tip of the stem is observed to curve and grow upwards. This proves that the stem is negatively geotropic. So that is the experiment clinostat proving that stem is always grow towards the sunlight or above the ground level or against the gravitational force is known as negatively geotropism or otherwise known as positively phototropism. Why is it to be positive? They are always grow towards to the sunlight. This is a positive approach. Away from the sunlight means that it's said to be negative character, that is geotropism. Dear students, this is the another experiment which are proving the positive phototropism. First one we have seen negative phototropism, isn't it? See, a darkened black box is taken having a small window on one side. A well-watered plant is placed inside the box. This is referred to as a phototropic chamber or heliotropic chamber. If the window is kept closed for about 24 hours, the plant shows the normal growth. If the window is kept open, it is found that after 2 days, the shoot tips which is bent towards and grows towards the light providing through the windows, that is said to be positively phototropics. See the diagram. This is the first one. We are taking the potted plant and place it under a box which are containing the small window. Now we are close to the window and place it in the dark room. What will happen? The plant which are showing the growth movement in a straight line or normal growth. In the second picture, if you are opening the windows, after 2 days, the stem portions which are grow towards the window in which the sunlight pass through proves that stem which are growing towards the sunlight, that is positively phototropism. Dear students, up to this we have seen tropism. Next we are going to see nastic movement. So when growth movement is occur in the response to the stimuli, which is not unidirectional, but it is diffused. That means in different direction. They are called a nastic or paratonic movement of variation. So the response to the external stimuli is not in only one direction. It will be in a different direction, that is known as nastic movement. So this nastic movement are taken place, or paratonic variations are taken place due to some external stimuli, that is light, temperature, chemical and touch. First one, nyctinastic movement or sleep movement. Nyctinastic movement or sleep movement. The diurnal movement, D for daytime. Okay, so the diurnal movement of leaves and flowers, some species which is taken up sleep position at night are called nyctinastic movement. So in some of the plants, the leaves and the flowers are showing the sleep movement at night time, but daytime they are showing the movement that is known as nyctinastic movement or sleep movement. So this will be taken place due to the cell size in the opposite side of the leaf base and called pulvinus. So this nyctinastic movement is taken place in some of the leaves and flowers. It will be taken place due to the cell size on the opposite side of the leaf base or pulvinus. So these movements are taken place with the help of the amount of oxygen and potassium ions. The entry of the water in the lower side of the pulvinus causes the leaves to stand erect, and exit of water causes leaves to closed. So the movements of leaves and flowers is also taken place due to oxygen and potassium ions. The entry of water in the lower side of the pulvinus causes the leaf to stand erect. That means it will be open. The water is not enter into the lower side of the pulvinus, make the leaves to close. It is two types. One is the photonasty. The nastic movement is caused in response to the sunlight is known as photonasty or photonastic movement. The opening of the leaves and flowers during the daytime and they are closing at the night time is an example of photonastic movement. Second one, thermonastic movement. So the movement of a nastic is response to the temperature is called thermonasty or thermonastic movement. In plant as crocus, the flowers open at high temperature and close at low temperature. Dear students, up to this we have seen different types of nastic movement. Some more type is also there. That one we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best, children.